Hey there, Internet. Welcome to the Hard On Gear channel, where I discuss and review my used and abused knives and gear. Knife of the Week, episode 1919, coming at you with this week's EDC. As always with Knife of the Week, I'm going to go over which knives I carried on me this week, talk a little bit about what I used for tools, different things like that, if that came into play, and at the end I'll tell you which knife came through as my Knife of the Week. If you enjoy these Knife of the Week videos, click the like button down below, it gives me a big help, and will help get more of these videos into your feed. So, back to the kind of work and casual setup for my EDC. I was carrying the Gerber and the Leatherman signal for my work get up, and I had the 8015 interchangeably going between those two sets of pants. So for simplicity's sake, I've got my Nomex work pants that I'm going to keep one belt attached with whatever fixed blade and stuff I'm using, and I'm going to try my best to do a whole separate EDC knife setup for my jeans, just for casual wear, just so I don't have to switch back and forth so much. I did use the same folder this week because I was really digging the 8015. The Paramilitary 2, as you see here, as you might assume, ended up being my shorts / sweatpants knife for kind of casual wear. The Leatherman pouch is back into action. It's been a while since I've used one. Actually, the Leatherman mutt, which there it is, hasn't been used since I was on my infantry course quite a while ago now. Seems like forever ago, a whole 6 or 7 months ago. This thing's been hanging out in my desk just because it's a lot heavier than the Signal, probably damn near twice as heavy. And until I'm going to be doing any more work on like rifles and tools, this thing probably won't get as much use. But it is a very capable multi-tool, but very heavy. And because of that, I was using the sheath that came with it, the the nylon holster that you see with most Leathermans, although much more beefy on this mutt. The Signals is about half the size and about half the weight, much like the tool itself. So yeah, much easier to carry on my hip and much less noticeable than the mutt, which I've been used to carrying for the last year prior to this, well, prior to going back to this rather. So yeah, very nice. Don't even notice it back there. I've got a few other things like a radio and fixed blade and that on my hip, so this blends right in and disappears quite well. Since I've adapted to wearing this kind of behind me, somewhere's like between my, I don't know, 5 and 7, 8 o'clock position, right around 7, 8 o'clock. It's not snagging on things like it used to. As I'd mentioned way back when I first started the channel, I didn't like wearing these holsters because I'd ripped a couple of them. I find them snagging in the woods when I'm moving around. But yeah, just adapting and finding different ways to do it. It seems to be working out just fine. So I kept this in my work pants and threw this lovely sack into my jeans. You're welcome, Steve. And wanted to make sure I got the Swiss Army knife back in the rotation. This is the Pioneer X model, and I have the Tops Mill Spy Elite on my hip. Decided to give the Izula 2 a little bit of a rest for the week and get something else on my hip in that right hand handle down 3 o'clock position on my offhand. My favorite place to carry that kind of, we'll say, beater fixed blade, as I've kind of got used to having one for that purpose. The past couple weeks since I've been in this new job, I found myself either handing one knife off to somebody or perhaps even just handing my Izula 2 off to somebody to use for several hours for different scraping or like rough tasks. And it's been pretty handy because I've still always got a knife on me. I've still got a multi-tool on me, maybe a little excessive at times, but it is nice to be able to have the tools on you to be able to get jobs done and to be able to hand them off so that you can be a good asset to the team. And speaking of assets, which one of these knives or tools was the best asset this week? Oh, before I get into that, I do want to say that the Worksharp Field Sharpener got a ton of use this week. I ended up doing a lot of just little touch-up jobs on my knives, and then for a few my new coworkers, as they're finding out that if you need a knife touched up, I have no problem doing that, and certainly will make sure it's sharper than it was when you gave it to me. So this is getting very popular, and I've probably got like a half a dozen people at least who are looking to seriously purchase one of these. So I've got to get an affiliate link set up and start sending that off to people and cash in on this. So yeah, awesome Worksharp Field Sharpener. Thanks for being incredible as always. Oh, and hello, totally forgot about the Anaconda. Always on my hip, left-hand side, dominant hand, reverse grip, 9 o'clock position. It's super, super handy, and it does get used pretty much every week. Did not end up being the knife of the week this week, but just wanted to make sure you know that I did have this on my person again. But the knife of the week this week is the Gerber. I had not worn it for a good long while. It's so much sturdier than the Cansbull, which if you are familiar with my one of my recent posts there, the Cansbull might have got snapped in half, and yeah, this is not an issue that I think I'm going to have with the Gerber. Obviously a better tool to baton with, and for those comments, I do need to get back and reply to your comments about this, but I have seen them. Obviously, batoning with the cans bowl versus a Gerber, not smart, but this is the Hard on Gear channel, not the Let's Be Gentle with all of our equipment channel. But yeah, the Gerber was a super handy tool this week. Very sturdy, very rugged. Definitely popular amongst the fire guys, and a couple of guys call this out by name when they see it on my hip. And then, of course, I was able to do a lot of prying, scraping, twisting, and cutting, because I did make sure to keep this thing pretty sharp, and I did, I think, yeah, touch it up again after my last use, so it's ready to go back into action whenever I put this back on my hip, which I think will be soon. But I do have something different coming up this week, and I'll have a couple of, new things to talk about next week on Knife of the Week, so feel free to check that out. Subscribe, turn the notification bell on if you want to get those notifications, and again, like the video if you do appreciate this kind of content and want to see more of it. Check out the previous Knife of the Week videos, or tomorrow's Monday upload, which will be a quick little which knives I'm going to be buying in 2023 for sure. This year, I am determined these 3 knives will be purchased. So check that one out tomorrow. See you on that one or the next Knife of the Week. Hard on Gear channel signing off.